So France has unveiled a 109 billion euro AI investment, but UK and US refused to sign the International AI Declaration. We'll break it all down for you. Where does the $109 billion come from? What is Europe's plan? And why UK and US has refused the offer? So as you can see here, the French President Emmanuel Macron on Sunday announced plans for 109 billion euros of private AI investment. He described the multi-billion euro commitment as France's equivalent to Stargate, referring to US President Donald Trump's 500 billion AI investment project. And we covered that before as well. Macron announced the mammoth investment sub ahead of France's AI Action Summit, where world leaders and tech bosses are gathering in Paris this week. So a lot of things happening, and as a European myself, very happy to see that investments are coming into Europe, but obviously quite sad. I don't know, it's almost expected at this point for UK and US not to want to come to an agreement here. But we're going to break it all down here, starting with JD Vance that had a speech at the Paris AI Summit, and we'll take a little look here.
The kind introduction, and I want to start by thanking President Macron for hosting the event and, of course, for the lovely dinner last night. During the dinner, President Macron looked at me and asked if I would like to speak, and I said, Mr. President, I'm here for the good company and free wine, but I have to earn my keep today. And I, of course, want to thank Prime Minister Modi for being here, for co-hosting the summit, for all of you for participating. And I'm not here this morning to talk about AI safety, which was the title of the conference a couple of years ago. I'm here to talk about AI opportunity. When conferences like this convene to discuss a cutting-edge technology, oftentimes I think our response is to be too self-conscious, too risk-averse. But never have I encountered a breakthrough in tech that so clearly calls us to do precisely the opposite. Now, our administration, the Trump administration, believes that AI will have countless revolutionary applications in economic innovation, job creation, national security, healthcare, free expression, and beyond. And to restrict its development now will not only unfairly benefit incumbents in this space, it would mean paralyzing one of the most promising technologies we have seen in generations.
So right off the bat, you can see that the sentiment here, he's basically saying safety, fast, better. And I can understand where he's coming from a little bit, because Europe has been extremely safe when it comes to all its developments, which means that there isn't that much inspiration. There isn't really that much of a chase, quote unquote, the American dream. You can make it, we can do it. In Europe, it's very much like, let's make it safe first and then make it better, which obviously doesn't really fit hand in hand when you're creating a new innovative technology that is going to revolutionize the world in some sense. Let's watch a little bit more.
With that in mind, I'd like to make 4 main points today. Number
4 main points? Okay.
1. This administration will ensure that American AI technology continues to be the gold standard worldwide, and we are the partner of choice for others, foreign countries, and certainly businesses as they expand their own use of AI.
So there are a couple of points that he brought up here. You can see that it's essentially they want to be best, they want to be leaders and supremacy, and they're obviously trying to broker deals with other countries to bring the mission of OpenAI and the other tech companies like Google and stuff like that. You see here that number 2, we believe that excessive regulation of AI sector could kill a transformative industry just as it's taking off. Number 3, we feel very strongly that AI must remain free from ideological bias, and that American AI will not be co-opted into a tool for man, I can't say these words.
Authoritarian censorship.
Thank you, Mike. Number 4, the Trump administration will maintain a pro-worker growth part for AI. So obviously, This is very important. They're usually, when they're talking about AI developments, they're always leading with this will make more jobs, guys. We will have more jobs and people will not go out of jobs. And I mean, it's very important that they keep that, but is that a promise that they can keep as well? Now, another interesting part here was that we had, I didn't know this, but this guy, Narendra Modi, is Prime Minister of India. And India is a very fast and quick developing country that might have a lot to say on this AI space. Now, I'm going to just take a quick look here at what he said. These are the highlights from his speech. Hey, by the way, if you like this video, click on subscribe. Also, check out the full video over on our podcast channel. You can find that in the link in the description. Now, let's get back to it.
AI is reshaping our polity, our economy, our security, and even our society. AI is writing the code for humanity in this century. Built a digital public infrastructure for over 1.4 billion people at a very low cost. We have made digital commerce democratic and accessible to all. This vision is the foundation of India's national AI mission.
So, India is taking a stance here on AI, saying that it's extremely transformative. Mike, can you actually do a little bit of research on if there's any big developments in India when it comes to AI? Because as far as I know, I don't know if they have any LLM. I don't know any big AI companies in India. Maybe that's because I'm from the Western world, obviously. I know that there are many different like Indian YouTubers with millions and millions of subscribers that I have no idea what their name is even. So it might be some really innovative tech coming out from India. Now, let's talk a little bit about US and UK refuse to sign the Global AI Pact. So you can see here that China, India, and most other nations signed an AI declaration at the top summit in Paris last night. But the US refused to sign, and the UK follow its lead. Now, if you've been following along, obviously, UK went into the Brexit, going away from the European Union, maybe it's 5 years ago now, where they don't have the same e-commerce or commerce laws and regulations that they have before. So to see them actually not wanting to go with EU here is a little bit, it was expected in some sense. But after the reactions from Brexit, I was thinking maybe they're going to come back and try to do some things. But it seems like they don't want to be in it with the European Union for AI. Now, the document called on AI to be used for good of all of humanity by ensuring AI is open, inclusive, transparent, ethical, safe, secure, and trustworthy, taking into account international frameworks for all. It was signed by at least 60 countries, including the world's most popular 2 nations, plus France, Japan, Australia, and others. But the US, represented by J.D. Vance, refused to sign. And the UK copied its transatlantic friend as it has done in numerous United Nations votes. A U.S. spokesman said that the declaration lacked clarity on global governance, and I'll give a better a better quote from what the UK actually said, and did not address the questions of national security. Participants said they were saddened by the decisions, but not surprised. So there's one more thing that we're going to take a look at here on the UK and US that have not signed. And this is from Andre Strait, former ethics and policy researcher at DeepMind. So take a listen to this.
This summit was an opportunity where we wanted to see kind of a world government leaders come together to plot a new trajectory for the future of AI. And at the end of the day, fundamentally, AI is going to be determined by those who build it and crucially those who don't. And a large goal of the summit was to try to create alternatives through a new public interest foundation, through a sustainable AI coalition. They were trying to broaden out the access of who gets these technologies and how they will be used. Although I think what we did see was a very different vision from the United States at the summit, one that was much more focused on national domination, on U.S. and Western allies having a primacy over AI, and much more of a security focus. But Wendy's absolutely right. One of the fundamental missing things from the summit was any focus on safety and governance. And if we think back to some of the lessons learned from earlier technologies, safety and governance is absolutely essential for this technology.
Why would that?
So that was the thoughts from an ethics and policy researcher. And it seemed to me while doing the research as well, like this topic isn't really talked about enough. We talked about in previous podcasts as well that none of these big companies or even countries have a long-term vision on how this will mean for regular everyday people. Like nobody said like, oh yeah, in the future we actually want it to look like this. Most of them are really just thinking about the grind set mentality of let's go first, let's be best, and let's go fast. Like the move fast and break things from Mark Zuckerberg that might be move fast and break the entire world. And it's that serious. If it's not aligned, it can really be just straight dive ahead. And if you optimize the AI for just power and dominance, it's obviously just going to do that. And that's extremely, extremely scary. So something that I care a lot about. Now, let's take a look at why the UK didn't go into this. And this is the statement. The declaration didn't provide enough practical clarity on global governance and didn't sufficiently address harder questions around national security. So that there wasn't enough of a mission, there wasn't enough of a step-by-step plan, maybe. Now, one more thing that I want to make sure to add into this is that UAE said that it would invest between 30 billion euros and 50 billion euros in the construction of a 1 gigawatt AI data center in France as a part of a campus focused on the technology's development. Yeah, was there anything on India?
There are a couple of projects like India AI. It's a kind of mission that has just over it's $1.25 billion in investments to build AI infrastructure and stuff. There are also a few AI models even from India, like I'm gonna butcher the names, Navarasa 2.0 or Dinu 1.0. So nothing major, but something going on there.
Yeah, that's cool to even see that they have a couple of investments, their own data centers as well. I really believe in India to be one of the growing factors over the next coming years. Now, so yeah, China is on board, Japan is on board, UAE is on board. It seems like most of the players are on board except the US, UK, and it was almost expected.
Well, US was expected because obviously they try to be the number one power in AI, have the monopoly on AI and chips specifically. But to me, the UK, that was a little bit of a surprise. I always thought they were more pro regulation and all that. But hey, there must be a lot more reasons that we don't know about.
Yeah, it seems a little bit like the Brexit kind of put the separation between the European Union and the UK, which kind of aligns with that. But it doesn't seem like UK has much of a plan, or at least we haven't reported on much of the UK here. But then UK is completely out of the race. It seems like maybe they're going to sign an agreement with the US or something along those lines, we'll keep reporting on that to see how the UK ends up in this race. But I am extremely happy to see Europe actually entering the space. $1.9 billion, that's a lot of money. Hopefully we're not going to get down regulated with all this. And hey, I'm with the safety, but EU has been so much safety focused over the last just the entire AI race. There is no companies or very few that are coming out of Europe. So yeah, let's put on the innovation hat and I actually try to create some incredible technology in the EU as well. Hey, so if you loved this clip, we actually have a full-length podcast that you can check out in the link in the description down below. A lot more to cover. All right, see you there.